I didn't have anything planned today. This is just a very impromptu live session on what to do with powdery mildew. Now, if you love hydrangeas as much as I do, the problem is that I'm seeing lots of hydrangeas is this powdery mildew. You see right here, lots of ugly, ugly leaves. And if you are having problems with powdery mildew, this is a video for you. I'm going to explain why this is happening, what you can do about it, and how to avoid it. So I'm outside in my backyard and I have this. The mosquitoes have been completely crazy. This is not sponsored. I'm just going to spray myself over and over again so the mosquitoes don't eat me. This is the about 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean 7 o'clock in the evening when the mosquitoes are out. Anyway, so I had to do that. So the situation with powdery mildew, what causes powdery mildew? Now, what causes powdery mildew is a combination of heat and overwatering. Powdery mildew is caused by a fungus, right? And these hydrangeas, the mophead hydrangeas, are legendary for powdery mildew. If you get their leaves wet and you water from the top, that causes powdery mildew. And mophead hydrangeas are known for this. So what can you do? Don't water overhead, right? I used to have problems with powdery mildew all the time. And I would water like this. You can't water like this. You have to really water like this near the base of the pot. And a lot of powdery mildew happens in pots because there's not enough air circulation. So once there's not enough air circulation, the fungus starts to grow and you'll start to see it on the leaves. It'll first start out as a small little spot and then it will start to spread. So once it starts to spread, you can use like insecticide, like fungus fighters, neem oil, even baking soda. I've made a video on how to fight powdery mildew when it comes to hydrangeas and even peonies, because I have a peony garden and every year it was loaded with beautiful blooms, but after it finished, it was a lot of powdery mildew. And baking soda does help with powdery mildew, and it helps with powdery mildew here on the hydrangeas. So to avoid powdery mildew, hello guys, how are you? Hi, happy Thursday. Thanks for joining me. We're talking about powdery mildew and how to avoid powdery mildew, because again, powdery mildew does not hurt your plant if you don't have too much of it. It doesn't hurt your plant. It's more of a cosmetic thing. It's just really ugly. And who wants powdery mildew? Hi guys, where are you guys from? Oh, you're in zone 9. Okay, how's the weather here? Because in New York City, it is hot, steamy, and raining. And hi, how are you? Thank you so much, Kings 390. Thank you so much. Oh, it has ruined my, oh yes, it's, you know what? It is just a horrible, horrible situation with powdery mildew. It's ugly and it doesn't hurt the plant, but over time, it really does stop the plant from blooming and looking its best, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about how to prevent it. So hi, hello, how are you? Oh yes, how are you guys? Where are you guys from? Put it in the chat where you guys are from. I want to know what city you guys are from. Yes, hello. So powdery mildew, again, is just really a cosmetic thing. And it's happening more and more because we've been having these wacky weather. It's been raining, it's been hot, and it's, the weather is really just causing a lot of powdery mildew. So how to prevent it? You can use Nemo. Hello, zone 7. Hi, how are you, Central New Jersey? How's the weather there? Yesterday, there was a complete flash flood, and we had our roads covered with rain, and now it's hot and humid. And I have my repel. I just got this yesterday because I was being eaten by the mosquitoes. And that's what's happening a lot with the mosquitoes. It's just crazy. So again, in order to prevent powdery mildew, you have to know how to water properly. And this was so much of an issue for me. So again, don't water from the top, right? This is a hydrangea. It has powdery mildew. Don't water from the top. Water from the bottom. When we have pots like this with the hydrangeas, tends to have a lot of powdery mildew. Why? Because there's not enough air circulation. So when you put pots together and you water above, that's going to cause powdery mildew, especially in temperatures like this when it's hot and steamy. And the more hotter your environment is, the climate, it's going to be much worse, right? So what do we do with this? You can use neem oil, you can use baking soda, and you can just make sure that your leaves are dried, right? And you make sure you don't water. What you can do next is just clip off these leaves. Leaving it like this is going to make the powdery mildew spread even more, right? So take a scissors, make sure you sanitize the scissors, and you just clip off these ugly, ugly leaves. I'm going to bring it closer to you. Yes. See, lots of powder right there. Ooh, yes. Just clip them off. Make sure that your scissors are sterilized and just get them off of there, right? So what you should do later on is to examine it. The thing is, when it comes to baking soda and neem oil, it's not going to reverse these leaves, right? These leaves are never going to look beautiful again, but it is going to stop the spread of powdery mildew. And I did that right here. This used to be loaded with powdery mildew, right? This is a hydrangea in a pot. I make sure that I water from the bottom right here. I never get the water on the leaves, because when you get the water on the leaves, that's when all that powdery mildew will start sticking on your leaves. And remember, it's a fungus. So when you're watering on top, what you're doing is just spreading the fungus all over it. Best thing to do is make sure you water right near the base of your, right? And don't water on hot, humid days. I know it's kind of hard, right? We want to keep our plants, but try not to, hello. Yeah, it's hot here. It's hot all over. Try not to water on hot, humid days. If it's going to rain that day, let the rain take care of it, because somehow Mother Nature always works its way out, right? So another plant that's very susceptible to powdery mildew, hydrangeas, right? If you want a hydrangea, the hydrangea right there, you see right there behind me, right there, that is a paniculata, right? That one does not get powdery mildew. But when it rains, you have to make sure that you shake the, you don't do that, the blooms get very, very heavy. And when I say shake off, just like this, shake it off, shake it off, right? Shake it off, because these blooms are really heavy in a rainstorm. And if you just leave it wet like this, it's going to snap. But these beautiful hydrangeas, the paniculata, they don't get powdery mildew on their leaves at all. And you can see how close these hydrangeas are. They're very, very compact and no powdery mildew on their leaves. So if you love a hydrangea, get this kind. It grows bigger. You're going to need a big space, because this is a limelight hydrangea. It grows to be about 6 to 8 feet tall, but it's so much more beginner friendly, and you don't have to deal with the issue of powdery mildew. Take a look at the leaves. No powdery mildew whatsoever. And I love paniculata hydrangeas. And on top of that, here in New York City, it's getting a little colder. It's still steamy, but in the next 2 weeks, all of that hydrangea will turn into a beautiful blush color. And that's the part I just love about it. Another plant that is susceptible to powdery mildew, I have it right here. Oh, coneflowers. Love a coneflower. Love, love, love a coneflower. But their leaves, if you see powdery mildew on your coneflower leaves, that's because you're watering kind of incorrectly. Again, keep the watering to a minimum, especially with coneflowers, because coneflowers are drought tolerant. So you don't need a lot of watering on coneflowers, because they can withstand periods of drought. But if you do have to water, make sure when you use that hose, keep it really close to the base. If you have it in a pot, if you have to kneel down a little to get it underneath the leaves with the hose, make sure you do that, because again, you don't want all that splashing and all that mildew going on the leaves, because that's what happens. And let me tell you, my friends, I had a problem with powdery mildews when it came to the coneflowers. Now I don't, because I make sure that I don't water as much, and I make sure I water close to the ground. So if anybody has some questions, best steam, steam dry them Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes I take a napkin and I just wipe. People think I'm crazy, but I just wipe my leaves off because I don't want any powdery mildew. You're right. So true. So true. So anybody else has any kind of questions for me when it comes to powdery mildew? There's just some plants that just have them and they're more susceptible, unfortunately. But we love our plants, but that's just what we have to do as gardeners, right? Anybody else have a question? How is the weather there? How are you dealing with the heat? The heat here has been horrible, you know, and the mosquitoes have been really just, they've been biting me up left and right. How's the weather been there? Hi, Christy. How are you? Chrissy, how are you? How are you? How's everyone's garden doing? Have you been getting out to water? It's just been crazy, hasn't it? Oh, you're 9. I'm 9 years old. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me. Anybody else have any other questions about powdery mildew? I made a video about how to treat powdery mildew. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And in my right here, I'm going to take you on a trip. So I still have problems with powdery mildew. You can see right there. This used to be a lot worse. This whole hedge, this is my peony hedge, right? And this used to be so much worse because you see right here, you sometimes you just can't, you just, you know, you just have to deal with it. And this is how it starts, right? This is all fungus. But before, this whole hedge would just be all powdery. It was so gross. So what I do now, I don't even water this hedge. The only time I water this hedge is maybe once a week. And you can see I water it more here, and you can see that the powdery mildew is more in this area than this area. So again, if you're dealing, and this is a peony, and somehow, again, their leaves just, so again, if you do have powdery mildew, the best thing to do is get as low as possible and water near the ground. That's the best thing to do. But yeah, I have about 20 peonies in there in this garden. Obviously, it's no longer bloomed, but you know, who doesn't love a peony? So yeah, guys, that's the situation when it comes to the powdery mildew. I'm just going to show you what my hydrangeas are doing. Beautiful. They're turning that blush color, as we said. If your hydrangea looks like this, you may need a little bit more watering, okay? If it's turning brown, it shouldn't be brown. It should just be turning a blush, all right? So if it's turning brown, this is a very big tree. I got this tree from Home Depot. If it's turning a little brown, then it probably needs a little bit of water. So I'm gonna have to get on that. And here are, again, the Pinky Winkies, Pinky Winkies, and the alliums. They're doing fine. Alliums are drought tolerant and they are not susceptible to powdery mildew, nor are these hydrangeas are susceptible to powdery mildew. They hold up very, very, very good. So guys, anybody with questions, let me know because yeah. Has anybody started their seed starting process yet? Anybody started indoor seeds? Because I can't even think about indoor seeds at this point. I'm just still trying to like look at my, I don't even want to think about the fall, right? Anybody who wants to think about the fall? I mean, guys, tell me what your favorite season is. Summer, are you guys kind of looking forward to Labor Day? Any Labor Day plans? Huh? I haven't been to the beach yet. I'm definitely wanting, because I've been working so much. So I definitely want to. Can you believe that? I haven't been to the beach. I need to take a break. Definitely need to take a break. So if anybody has any questions about powdery mildew and how to treat it, I am here. You know, determined gardener, leave me any questions if you can't think about any questions right now. But again, powdery mildew, how do you avoid it? Make sure you don't water from the top, water right near the base of the pot or water close to the ground. Don't water during humid times and humid weather because that will just steam up the plant. Again, keep the plant a very air circulation. Give it a lot of elbow room. Do not clump a plant that has powdery mildew near another plant because what you'll do is just contaminate both of them. So make sure you have a lot of air circulation. cut the leaves out, right? Just cut them out. And that way the plant will become a little bit healthier. You can't stop powdery mildew once it starts. You can only contain powdery mildew. You can't stop it. So what you do is just cut the leaves out, put some neem oil, baking soda, or go to your big box stores and get, one of those fungi stuff that you put it on there. And then hopefully it will bounce back if you follow these really quick instructions on how to deal with powdery mildew. And if you don't want powdery mildew, try to avoid buying the coneflowers, because they're very susceptible to powdery mildew, and the mop head hydrangeas are also very susceptible to powdery mildew. If you want a hydrangea, get away from me. Get away from me, mosquito. If you want a hydrangea, the best thing to do is get one of those limelight hydrangeas. They are not as susceptible to powdery mildew, and they're much more beginner friendly. I'm going to, okay, oh, goodness gracious. These mosquitoes. You know, I got the new Arthro thing that you're supposed to, it's like comes in, it was on TikTok. I don't know if that's worked. Somehow the mosquitoes seem to be out even more in full force with this weather. So guys, thank you. So yes. Hi, how are you? How are you? How's your garden? Rogelia, how is your garden going on? How is it? Anybody? Let me know about your garden. My garden's doing good. I have some renegade squirrels somewhere probably looking to see once I leave, they're going to try to steal my tomatoes. But so far the garden is good. I love it. I know it's been too hot, right? I've been, it's so funny. Like I'm out here, and sometimes I feel like I've been out here for 2 hours. And then when I go inside, I feel like I've been out here for 8. It's that hot, right? It's just outrageous. And of course, this is August, but you know what it is? It's not even the heat, it's the humidity. It's like just drains everything out of you. Ugh, I can't. I just, in a way, I'm kind of looking forward to the cooler weather. But once the cooler weather comes, then all the flowers go. But again, we have to think of, autumn, and, we have the mums and all those other nice things that to plant in the garden. But I just love my hydrangeas. I love my summer flowers. So I guess that's just something you have to deal with. Yeah. Yeah. It's been hard on the plants. Yeah. It's been hard on, how many times do you guys water? I try to water like twice a day. I have some plants on drip irrigation. The hydrangeas on drip irrigation, but the potted plants like this one, not on drip irrigation. I have like about 20 potted plants. So that's me pulling out the hose and all the plants. And let me tell you, it's work. It's work. Anybody says that gardening is easy? It is a lot of work. Yeah, guys. Yeah, it is hot. Anybody growing any vegetables in their garden? What about the veggies? Any veggies? How your veggies holding up? Tomatoes are doing well. If you live in a hot climate, you can still plant some tomatoes. About 90 days, because the people that live in zone 9, 8, they have a longer season, so they can still plant some tomatoes. The ones that are like under 90 days. The people that live in zone like 6, 5, 3, obviously, 7 like me, it's getting on that borderline. I would not plant tomatoes right now or any summer vegetable, because this wacky weather, the frost could hit. Sometimes we even get frost like even before Halloween. So if you're thinking of planting any summer veggies, if you're in a cooler climate, this may not be the time to do that. But hey, we have wackier weather. Sometimes we have 70 degrees in November, which is completely insane. Oh, guys. So what are you guys' plans? You're just hanging out? Thanks for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. I see that we have 11 people here. Oh, I got this too, to keep with the mosquitoes. This is a lifesaver. I mean, it doesn't smell good, but you know what? In order for me to be out here and not be eaten alive, I need this. I need this. Oh, it's such a nice calming effect, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So what else are you guys doing? Okay. Yeah. How's your afternoon going on? Right? Did you guys see my new desk? It's my new desk. Isn't it cute? You know, it has my tools and everything in it. So I brought it out for the demonstration. Hi, I see some new folks joining me. Thank you. I didn't plan this live. I was just out here. I just put out the mosquito repellent and I said, let's just go for it. Hey, when is the best time to trim my hydrangea? That is such a good question. Now, it depends if you have a mop head hydrangea or a limelight hydrangea. If you have a mop head hydrangea, hello, hi, Kiki. If you have a mop head hydrangea, do not trim it at all. The only thing you should do, and I'll lift this up, once these buds start turning sad, you just clip them right below the leaf. That's it. And that's all. You don't cut anything because if you cut these, the buds grow on the stems. Okay. So if you cut, you will not get any blooms. So only cut the old bloom and that's it. Now, if you have a limelight hydrangea like that, you can cut it down. And the best time to cut is in don't cut now because there's no reason to cut now. Cut in spring, early spring. Yep, early spring. That way you'll know where the buds are when the buds start coming up, you'll know where the buds are. So don't cut your hydrangea now, leave it alone. Continue to water it. Make sure that you water make sure you water as much as you can because hydrangeas like to be hydrated. And make sure you don't water from the top. Don't go like this. It's not the movies, spraying all the water. No, make sure you water as close to the ground and the soil as possible. Anybody else have a question? Yep, a mop head hydrangea. We all love mop head hydrangeas, but overall, they're not the easiest to deal with. They're beautiful. And we give them to our moms, our sisters, our aunties, our daughters. We give them as graduation presents. But unfortunately, they are not beginner friendly. They are beautiful. And if you get a hydrangea in a pot in one of those big box stores, I would suggest you plant them in the ground now. Just plant them in the ground because they do better in the ground than in pots. Because again, hey, hello, how are you? Everybody put where they're from because in the pots, they are very susceptible to powdery mildew. And I'll give you a second look at the powdery mildew. And on top of that, they burn really easily in the sun. Mop head hydrangeas, they don't like full sun. They like shaded areas. Morning sun and afternoon shade. Yeah, I have that. This is a seaside one. This is from Monrovia. Yeah, this is about 3 years old. And I'm trying to get it back in shape. It has a lot of powdery mildew because I've been neglecting it. So, you know, that's just what it is. So I use this as a demonstration. You don't want your leaves to look like this because it looks very sad. And this is not only a powdery mildew, but this has been also in too much sun. Now, this one used to look like this. This one is so much better because you can see the leaves all nice green leaves, no powdery mildew, just that one bloom. And I think the reason why I'm not getting as many blooms, what can you do? Hi, yes, I'm just looking at the questions. This is my first year. I have, Ugelia, if you have any questions, you can just let me know. I hope I'm saying your name right. I didn't fertilize this. So if you do have your hydrangea in pots, don't forget to fertilize because if you don't fertilize, it will give you 1 or 2 blooms. It won't give you a lot of blooms. This used to be filled with blooms and now only has 1 bloom because I didn't fertilize. And the time to fertilize is in the spring. And the reason why you need to fertilize is because this, you know, it's soil, right? It's not from the ground. It doesn't get that natural nutrients and all that organic stuff. So it's just in a pot. So it needs to be replenished. So that's the reason why you fertilize once every spring. You fertilize your pots. And if you live in a very cold climate, hey, with the powdery mildew, yes, what can you do with the powdery mildew? That's a good question. You can use neem oil, baking soda, or you can go to the big box stores. Now, again, with the powdery mildew, it's not going to stop it. It's just, oh, sorry, it's not going to reverse the leaves, right? Those leaves are gone. It will just stop the spread. That's all. It'll stop the spread. But again, if you do the baking soda or you go to the big box stores, the best thing to do also is take a sterilized scissor and cut out the leaves. Just cut them out because you don't want the leaves there. And remember, don't water from above because that's what causes powdery mildew. The humidity, the fungus gets on there, no air circulation, and then all of a sudden powdery mildew. So cut the leaves, make sure there's plenty of air circulation around the pot. Or if you have it in the ground, maybe try to cut some branches to give that airflow, and then it should be so much better. But again, it's not going to reverse the leaves. It's just going to stop the spread. And that's what we want. We want powdery mildew. We want to stop it. And then next season, it should be better. Yes, I use baking soda. Yes. Yeah. What do you think about the baking soda method? I do use baking soda. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Depends on the weather. If it's extremely hot, it's not going to work. If the weather is like just okay, it's going to work. But if it's extremely hot and the next day it gets humid, I find that it gets worse with the baking soda. So you really do have to be careful with the baking soda, and you have to make sure that there's not going to be a rainstorm coming that same day, because then the baking soda will just be washed off. I also use baking soda, and I make sure that I put like a sticky agent, like some oil, to make sure that the baking soda ingredient sticks to the leaves. That's another sign, because if you just use water and baking soda, it's just going to fall right off the leaves. Yep, that's exactly what I do. Yep. Lesh, the tomato whisperer, says works good, puts a couple of drops of natural dish soap in the mix as well. That's exactly what I do. I put the olive oil and I put the dish soap. Yes, it does. Yep. Yes, it helps to stop off the runoff. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And with this wacky weather that we're getting, it's all our plants, our lovely plants, particularly some of them, hydrangeas and coneflowers leaves are very susceptible to powdery mildew. So are peonies. If you have peonies in your garden, they're also very susceptible to powdery mildew. I don't know if any other plants are susceptible to powdery mildew. If you guys want to leave it in the chat, but just let me know. But yeah, that's, yeah, and sometimes even tomato leaves are very susceptible, and squash leaves. If you're growing squash, I'm not growing them this year because I couldn't deal with the powdery mildew. I was just like, okay. So I'm just not growing squash because they always have powdery mildew. The squash tastes fine. It comes out great, but I just can't deal with that powdery mildew leaves. And on top of that, the fact is that, you know, it's there and it could spread to the other vegetables possibly. I'm not growing squash in my garden this year. Anybody else growing? Well, if anybody else is growing squash or, you know, this year, just let me know if you guys are growing anything this year. Yeah, but you know, this weather, this hot, humid weather is just really making it really difficult for the plants, and all this fungus is just in the air and sticking to their leaves, and it's just making it harder for us gardeners, but we love it anyway, right? That's why we're having chats like this, to find out more information and to learn from each other so our gardens can thrive and we can get on top of anything that may be, you know, troubling in our garden, right? I know, right? Sorry for sprinkling the top. Yeah, don't sprinkle the top. Oh, hi. I love that area. It's a bit, I can't, okay, Emily, I thumbs up for where you live. I'm not going to even pronounce it. Did I tell you I got a C in geography? I'm not going to go there. I know some, yeah. Thanks for joining me. Thank you so much. I have my own mix of natural pest control. Oh, wow, Les, you do? Well, you have to share that with me because I would love to find out, because with this weather and the pests out here, you need to share that. I'm sure that's your secret recipe, right? This is my first time here. Hello. Hi, Canada. How are you? Yes, yeah, he's from Canada. Great. How's the weather? Is it cooler over there in Canada? What's the weather like? Because in the States, we are frying. They put us in a frying pan and we're sizzling because it's so hot. It's oh yeah, great. Share it with us because we really want to know. Oh, it's not hot there, huh? No, it's not hot there. What's the temperature like over there? I'm assuming it's. You know what? I heard that there's been some wildfires in Canada. Are you near where there's some wildfires? I hope not, because that'd be really scary. I've been hearing that some people can't go to parks because it's been so dry over there that there's been a couple of wildfires. Can you believe that? Oh, it was 102. Okay, then I shouldn't complain. I shouldn't I take that back. Oh my God. I don't even know what 102 feels like. I don't want to. Does anybody want to know what 102 feels like? Put the temperature of what your city is now, because I think mine is maybe like 87. But here in New York City, it's the humidity. It's not the temperature. It's not the mercury. It's the humidity that sucks the life out of you, right? I know. You got that. 102. You can keep that over there. How's your plants going with 102? How are you even dealing with it? Anybody answer that question? How are you guys dealing with any of that heat there? Because I think that's the number one problem. A lot of gardeners, they don't want to go outside because it's just too hot, right? Okay. Oh, okay. Today was only 98. That is insane. Okay. That is crazy. It's funny. If we got 98 here, it'd be all over the news. It'd be considered a heat wave. We've had a little, oh, yeah, yeah. You have a little bit of rain. Yeah. I was just telling folks, guys, hey, we had a rainstorm. I went to get some like peaches and went to the store. It was like a little drizzy. I came out. It was pouring rain. I had to run to my car. I was like flash flooding. Can you believe that? The flash flooding is out of control. 1 minute it's just gray skies, and a second later it's pouring. It's like what? It just completely caught me off guard. Completely caught me off guard. It's just insane. Yeah. So, any other questions about powdery mildew? Just remember, yeah, there was an out of control fire about. Oh, see, and I shouldn't be complaining about humidity. Yes, I mean, be careful, last the tomato whisperer. Yes, lots of guys, yeah, the temperature has been so dry and so wacky that lots of places like Canada are having wildfires, and some of the parks are closed. And if you're in certain areas, you'll be fined. So, I mean, really, really a difficult situation, definitely with this crazy weather. And that's another thing that's causing, the powdery mildew. It's just very dry. Then it gets humid, and then it gets steamy, and then it gets rainy, and the fungus is like, it's like a haven. They're like, they just snatch on your leaves, right? 2 nights ago, water bombers flew over our head. Oh, wow. Okay, wow. Wow. Well, how are your crops doing? Anybody's crops or anybody's veggie garden or plants suffering? Because I'm assuming that's a real big deal, you know? That's a real big deal with all that dryness out there. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. Yes, Rose. Texas is always hot. We know. Texas. How are your flowers going over there? How's your garden? And growing any veggies? Are you getting out more? That it's so hot. What's the highest you've had so far, Rose? Let me know. It's because I know Texas is always hot. I don't know how you guys live in Texas. You guys are strong, okay? We're New Yorkers, right? We got that. But Texas, yeah, I don't know about Texas. Texas is up there too. I don't know how you stand with that heat. Do you have fruit trees? I would love fruit trees, but you know what? I can't deal with the squirrels. I can't. Tomatoes are still green. They won't ripen in extreme heat. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. They won't ripen. My tomatoes are doing very good. It hasn't, again, we get like 90, 95 here, the highest. So my tomatoes are red. But I won't grow fruit trees, not at all, because I can't deal with the squirrels. I can't deal with the birds. You know, I can't deal with them pecking. And anybody that grows fruit trees, yeah, you got it. I'll give that to you because I can't grow any fruit trees. I don't have the patience. I like the tomatoes, the cucumbers in cooler temperatures, the lettuce, the pumpkins. I can deal with that. I'm back. Hey, hi, how are you? I missed you, missed you, I missed you. I can deal with that, but I can't deal with the fruit trees. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. The birds and the squirrels. Mm-mm. I don't have the patience. How are the fruit trees? Anybody else growing fruit trees? 3 days ago, time was oh my goodness, 100. How you surviving there? That's how you surviving at 118 degrees. What does your electric bill look like? I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, is this the hottest year it's been? Oh, okay. My plants are still lush and green. Well, that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh yeah, I have a lime and orange tree. How is that doing with this heat? How's the lime and orange tree? Is it okay? Let me know. Are they? Is it okay with the lime and orange? I'm assuming it is because they love heat, right? Yeah. Hi, that little turtle. How are you? It's hotter than normal. Yes, it is so crazy this heat, right? This heat is just, I don't know. I would have to say this was hotter than last year. Because we got a little bit of cool down here and there, but it just seems like it's every day is just very sweltering. 3 summers ago, we had a hot summer. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, they're good. I'm glad. I'm glad that your fruit trees are good. I'm glad they are. Are you watering a lot more, or do you think that when will they be ripened? You know, they probably look delicious. I can't wait. I just don't have the patience for it. I think one of these days I would. And I think I'm going to maybe do like an apple, but I don't know if apples would grow in the summer. Anybody know? How are you? Hey, how? Hi, that little turtle TLT. You know what? I'm getting old. I need my glasses. I need my like, hey, how are you? How are you today? How's the weather there? Is it crazy? Is it hot? How are you dealing with it? Are you able to get out in your garden and enjoy your garden? We've been talking about powdery mildew and how to prevent it and, just what to do and how to spot it. So lots of people have been having problems with powdery mildew because the weather is just wacky these days. So again, if guys are still joining me, when it comes to powdery mildew, you can use neem oil. Your mixture can come with a concoction of your own mixture that Les has that he's going to share with us eventually soon, right? What is the temperature there? Oh yes, it's about 86, but the humidity is really hot. And I have repellent. I had to have this, and I'm going to spray again because the mosquitoes have been large and in charge, and they've been eating me up. And I have also this too, the scenting thing to keep the mosquitoes away, because if I did not have that, I'd be eaten alive. And the weather, even though it's 80 something degrees here in the high 80s, the mosquitoes there just seems to be more mosquitoes because it's just so hot and humid. We have a lot of blackberries here. They're suffering from the lack of rain. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, they're half the size. I love blackberries. Oh my goodness, it's just hard. It's just hard sometimes trying the garden. We love it as much as we can, but this weather, it needs to give us a little bit of break, right? Those blackberries, I love them and they're half the size. The tomatoes I've noticed because the weather has been fluctuating a lot. I haven't gotten as many tomatoes this year. They're ripened, they have ripened, but before I would have a bucket load of tomatoes and I'd have to give them away. And sometimes they would actually even spoil on the branch. Now I'm getting like this much. It's not a lot. And I'm fighting the squirrels because the squirrels want to take my tomatoes all the time. That's the reason why I don't have fruit trees. I can't deal with that. Oh, yeah, I can't deal with that. No, no, no. So, but so far so good with my raised beds. Only the tomatoes have not been as bountiful as they've been in the past, right? So yeah. Yeah. So what do you guys, what's your plans this evening? You're just gonna chill? Just gonna chill out. I usually try to water in the mornings and afternoon. This is the time I usually water when it's a little cooler and the mosquitoes have decided to go away. I put this out about 30 minutes in advance to make sure that the mosquitoes don't eat me alive. And then I water. Part of my garden is on irrigation, but I have a lot of pots. I have like over 40 pots, so I'm always trying to water the pots. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're growing a bunch of, oh boy. Okay, I have to check out your channel because you seem to be the tomato whisperer. What kind of advice can you give us when it comes to the tomatoes? I mean, they're always talking about like pruning. I haven't pruned my tomatoes. I don't prune my tomatoes. I just let them grow. I just let them grow. Anybody prune their tomatoes? Take off that bottom stem. I heard that if you take off the bottom stem, it's supposed to prevent diseases from, latching on to your tomatoes. But I haven't done that. I just let it grow in the garden. They're fine. They're fine. But yeah, different types of heirlooms. Wow. I like the ones that are orange. And I think they have the ones they have like it's dark in the center. It's a dark tomato. That is delicious. I love the dark tomato ones. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, your tomato Les says my tomato plants have been exploding with flowers and fruits. I have a secret ingredient that promotes flowering and fruiting. Okay, wow. Well, I hope does it taste good? What's your secret? Does it taste good? I want to know. He's the tomato whisperer. How many varieties of tomatoes are you growing? You said you had a bunch of tomatoes varieties going. How much do you have growing in there? About 5, 6, a half dozen? And what's your favorite tomato? Anybody list their favorite tomato? And I'm sorry if there's some people that don't like tomatoes in this group. List your favorite fruit or vegetable. I love a tomato. I love a cucumber. I grow cucumbers because they're so easy to grow, right? They're so easy to grow. Yeah. But the temperature, whoo, it's been taking a toll. It's been taking a toll. How anybody growing strawberries? My strawberries have been smaller too. I noticed that. They've been taking a beating with the heat. My strawberries have been much smaller too. Anybody growing strawberries too? Oh, it's all natural. That says it's all natural and makes tomato taste sweeter as well. That sounds delicious. Can't wait. That sounds so good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, tomatoes are already sweet as they are, but yeah. And my favorite tomato is Paul. Oh, yeah, I love that. The Paul Robinson's tomato. Yes, yes. I love the ones that are orange. I I love just tomatoes in general, right? Is it a fruit or a vegetable? That's the main debate. Put fruit or vegetable in the comment. I'm going with fruit. It has seeds. I'm going with fruit. Another spray. Oh, what's the time over there where everybody is? I think my time is 7:38 and the sun is going down. You can see the sun in the horizon going down. I know Texas, I think, is an hour uh, ahead or below us. I'm not sure. Maybe 6 o'clock in Texas. Oh, the ingredient is black strap molasses. Woo! Wow, that sounds pretty interesting. That sounds pretty interesting. Boy, you got some concoctions out there, don't you? Well, I gotta see your garden. I'm gonna check out your channel after this. Definitely. I'm gonna check out your channel because I'm learning so much. You guys hopefully have learned a lot about powdery mildew, and Les is teaching us so much about tomatoes. You guys talk amongst yourselves. If you have any questions, 2 teaspoons of molasses per gallon of water Water every 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, I'm gonna have to put that in my brain. Okay, I'm gonna have to put that in my brain. Definitely. Everybody heard that? Tablespoons of molasses per gallon of water, and water every 3 to 4 weeks if you have tomatoes. Makes it taste so much sweeter, and I'm assuming it's a lot healthier. 8:39 here in Atlantic, Canada. Oh wow, is that in the morning, right? I'm assuming that's in the morning. Is that in the morning or night? I think that should be night, right? Yeah, right? That makes sense. Night, right? It wouldn't be in the morning. You guys are not like New Zealand or anything. You're just above us, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, guys, feel free to chat with each other because we're just learning so much. Has anybody else dealt with powdery mildew in the last couple of weeks? You know, how has the weather been over there? Is it steamy still? Anybody expecting any rain? I think we're supposed to have another bout of rain in the next 2 days. So, and I guess the good part was that I didn't have to water yesterday because it rained like it was, I don't know what. It was like, it's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. You know that song. Does anybody know that song? It's raining men. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah, 8:30. It's raining. It was pouring yesterday. You know, these flash floods are crazy. But I didn't have to water. I didn't have to water this morning, so I was happy. I should be watering later today after this live stream. Definitely need to water, but Mother Nature did the watering for me this morning. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, yes. Oh, it's 4:40. Okay, I know Texas is it's we're much later than Texas. My brother lives in Texas. Yeah, he's a state trooper with his wife and 3 kids. And you guys have went back to school. Do you have any kids? Yeah. Yeah. Mogelia, I think. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it. I have to put my glasses on. But I heard that you guys have went back to school like yesterday or today was the first time school started, in session. We go back to school after Labor Day, but I know you guys end school a lot earlier than we here in the Northeast. She was a Spice Girl. Yeah, she did. Yeah, Jerry sang that song. She was in the Spice Girl. I remember the Spice Girls. I was so sad when they broke up, right? Oh, I didn't one of them like pass away? Do we know if one of them passed away? I think I think one of them passed away. I'm not sure. I hope not. I hope not. But yeah, that was the group back then. I listened to them all the time. I liked I think was it Scary Spice? No. Yeah, did Scary Spice pass away? I don't know. But there was Scary Spice, there was Posh Spice because she's married to Beckham. There was I think Baby Spice. Who am I missing? Who am I missing? Scary, Sporty Spice. I'm missing someone. And Jerry. I think they were all 5. Did I mention all 5? Everybody? Did I mention all 5? The Spice Girls? Currently, I'm growing 10 varieties of tomatoes, 9 varieties of peppers. Mm. What is your favorite plant? That's a good question. Hydrangeas. Sorry. I love my limelight hedge. Limelight grows about 6 to 9 feet tall. They're so beginner friendly. And they're the limelight, the paniculatas. I love a mop head, but again, mop heads are susceptible to powdery mildew. They're beautiful, but they're susceptible to powdery mildew. So that's the reason why I just go with the limelight. What is your favorite plant? Let me know. Let me know what everybody put down their favorite plant. What's your favorite plant? The redhead, yeah, was Jerry. Yeah, the redhead was Jerry. That's right. The redhead was Jerry. Yep. My mom has a lot of them. Oh, okay. Does she? Does she have the limelight hydrangea or the mop head hydrangea? And does she have them in the ground? Because I tend to put my mop heads, yeah, I have seeds for 40 tomato varieties. Wow, that's impressive. That's why you're the tomato whisperer. You you're just whispering to those tomatoes, and they're growing. They are growing. So I wanted to have them like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Do you like the mop head varieties, or do you like the paniculatas? You know, which one do you like? Oh yeah, we all love mop head varieties. They're so cute. They're beautiful, aren't they? But they're not beginner friendly, unfortunately. I mean, I go around the neighborhood and people come in and say, why is my hydrangea? If you guys look on my channel, you'll find out the video. If you're having trouble with your hydrangea, just take a look at that video I posted a week ago. Let's just say if you're, yeah, yes, in the ground. Very good. Very, oh, I'm so sorry that she passed. Oh, God bless her soul. I'm so sorry to hear that. But again, if you have a hydrangea, you should always put it in the ground. It does way better than pots, and it's less susceptible to powdery mildew. But yeah, you know, that was your mom's favorite flower, was it? Did she really love hydrangeas? Yeah, I love hydrangeas, and I love the mop head ones. And it's funny because I always keep saying they're not beginner friendly, but guess what? I'm always at Home Depot looking for the clearance ones to put in my garden. So it's like, hey, I'm just drawn to them. They're beautiful. They are. They're beautiful. They're beautiful plants. So I wanted some like she had. Okay, all right, yeah, yeah. To remember your mom, definitely. To remember your beautiful mom. I completely understand that, definitely. Are you on Instagram as well? Yes, I'm on Instagram with Terman Gardner. On Instagram. I'm on Facebook too. So I post on Instagram and on Facebook. I don't do a lot on Instagram. I just post flowers of my, you know, my beautiful limelight. And I, you know, post some stuff with my tomatoes and my veggies. But I love YouTube because I love the community. Are you on Instagram? Yeah, I love, oh yeah, good. I love the community here. Yeah, yeah, we are so sorry for your loss. So sorry for your loss. So sorry for your loss. But yes, I'm on. I love the YouTube community because we can talk, we can learn from each other. Instagram is a little. I don't know how you guys feel about Instagram, but I've just it's not as community oriented. It's not a it doesn't feel like a community. It just feels like, okay, I'll post this and then people like it and that's it, you know. But here in YouTube, it feels like more of a community that we're joining and we're learning from each other, and you know, so I so much more appreciate the YouTube community than Instagram. And then Facebook is like, I don't know, they seem to be a little snobby sometimes. Okay, great. Follow me. I'll follow you, Les. Yeah, I'll follow you. Anybody wants to put their handle in, I'll definitely follow, and we'll, you know, we'll chat definitely. Um, put your handle in as well. Don't be shy. But anybody else on Facebook? Anybody else on Facebook, on Instagram too? You know, I learned so much from a lot of people when I do these live streams, because you know, it's not just about me talking about, you know, my journey when it comes to gardening, but it's also about learning and really understanding how you guys are and learning about your lives. And you know, I mean, just a bonding experience. It's so so great, right? Oh, you're on Facebook. What group? What group? Let me know what group. Let me know the group you're in. I like Facebook. That's how I started, but I don't know. Sometimes those Facebook people, they be mean. They be mean. I think the YouTube community is a little nicer, you know. But nothing against Facebook. I'm nothing against Facebook. I just sometimes just be mean. They'll be like, answer my question. And they're like, okay. And then, you know, you never hear from them ever again. So, but yeah. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much. Yeah. When they're rude, when they're rude again, I just have to laugh. You're right. You're making me tear up. Yeah, exactly. Give it back to them. Because sometimes they're rude for no reason. They're like, they're just rude. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just older people who are crankier on Facebook, and then you got the millennials that just want to show the pretty stuff on Instagram. So that's the reason why I like YouTube, because I feel the people on YouTube are completely real. Thank you. Hey, thanks so much. Are you leaving us? We're gonna probably wrap up soon. Remember, you know, when it comes to powdery mildew, don't water from above, water right near the pot. Make sure there's plenty of. Okay, thank you so much for joining me on my live. I appreciate it. Have a great evening. Bye from Texas. Love you. Oh, bye-bye. Some guy gave me some crap about watering plants during the heat. I know, right? See you later, anybody that has to leave. Yeah, you know what? I try not to respond to those comments, but sometimes it's hard because some people are coming out of left field. And it's like, what are you even talking about? I'm not even talking about that. And why are you even in my business like that? So, and it's not that serious. Come on now. But yeah, you have to give it back to them. You have to give it back to them. You have to give it back to them. So guys, I'm going to be wrapping up. It was so great. I'm glad that you guys were able to join me here. Someone replied to him in my defense. Oh, good. Yeah, because he was acting, or she was acting like nuts. Exactly. Yeah, you'll find those people. When those people act like that, I try to ignore them. I don't respond because it's their issue, right? They're clearly having unhappy lives. So, you know, don't put it on me. But yeah, you know. But guys, thank you so much for joining me here on my channel, The Determined Gardener. This was an impromptu live. My husband's like, you know, you got to post this and let people come. But so many people came, right? I'm so happy that you guys came and spent your time with me. I'm going to follow you on YouTube. Okay, well, thank you so much. Have a great evening, lads. You taught us so much, right? I hope everybody got a lot of good information from Les, the tomato whisperer. He gave us so much, talked about molasses, talked about how sweet the tomatoes and the different varieties of tomatoes. You have a lot of knowledge. Thank you so much for letting us and sharing all that knowledge with us. Thank you. And anybody else that wants to share, why not? But, you know, we are wrapping up. So, again, thank you so much for joining me here on my channel, The Determined Gardener. I will be doing some more lives, and we'll be talking more about powdery mildew and how to treat it. And we'll be talking about hydrangeas and how beautiful they are and which hydrangea you should get. And we also will be talking about more raised beds, any concerns, pests, lantern flies. Lantern flies. I don't know if you guys get it over there in Canada, but lantern flies, I've noticed they've been less though. Now that it's been hotter, I've noticed they've been less. Where do you usually go live? Yeah, when do you usually go live? I don't have a schedule. Sorry, I don't. It was nice. The mosquitoes are behaving themselves. I pulled out my cart and I said, you know what? Let's talk about powdery mildew. So, but I will have a schedule probably on maybe Thursday or Wednesday. I'm not sure, but you know, thanks for asking. That's a good question. I will have to come up with something. Yes, I know. I just impromptu. I said, let me talk to somebody. I want to talk to my community. Come on, let me go live. And that's exactly what I did. So guys, thank you so much for joining me here on my channel, The Determined Gardener. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share with your family and friends. Don't forget to know all the lessons that Les shared with us. Write it down, implement it, all the lessons I've given you about powdery mildew, how to prevent it. And thank you so much for joining me and, you know, spending time with me on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. Everybody, see you later. Bye-bye. Have a great night. Bye.